Hello, 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 Ncaa 31 here, bringing you Madden 25. This is part 4 of my little Tampa 2 series here, and going over roster setup. Half the battle is getting the right guys in the right spots, doing the right things, and I also have a game using the Cincinnati Bengals coming up right after I do this. So sit back, relax, grab a beverage and some chips, and lounge and watch. And hopefully this will help you guys out. Now, why the Bengals, you may ask? Well, someone asked me what the heck to do with their linebackers, so I put my head together and came up with this. You see James Harrison here, a longtime Pittsburgh Steeler, playing left defensive end. Still has some juice left in the pass rush, and you'll see the reason why I did this when I go with the defense. When I show you the defensive tackles and the linebackers. But I have Harrison here instead of Dunlap. You see he has his 89 power move. You know, he's a better block shedder than Dunlap, so I have him on the strong side. Most people have their tight end pretty much exclusively on the right side. They rarely flip him to the left. So that tends to be the power side, both in football and the game in general. So that's why he's there. 89 power move, still has some good speed, good tackling, good hit power. He's a little bit vulnerable against the run, but you can't have everything, you know. You just gotta pick your poison. Good acceleration, 82 speed, 87 strength, so he won't get just completely bulldozed and pancaked if he can't get off the block. He'll at least stand his ground for the most part. On the other side, we have Carlos Dunlap. Speed rusher, 84 speed, 84 strength, 88 in acceleration. I have him on the quote-unquote weak side because he's slightly less of a stout run defender than Harrison with a 74 block shed. Good pass rush move at 94. And I have Gathers backing up, you know, both spots there. But you can go, you know, Gathers, Hunt, whatever. I mean, either or. Defensive tackle, Geno Atkins, I leave him the hell alone. He's a freaking beast. Hard to move, hard to block. Nice and athletic. 98 power move, 91 block shed. And he's athletic, 73 speed, 91 strength, 94 acceleration. He's the prototype 4-3 Tampa 2 style defensive tackle. I moved Michael Johnson to the second defensive tackle position. Now, why did I do this? I like to have this guy, my first offensive tackle, be the best pass rusher, run defender, all-around defensive tackle that I have. This guy I want to have the flexibility to do a lot of different things with. Spy him, drop him into a hook, drop him into a pink, what have you. So he has to be a little bit more athletic with the 84 speed there and 92 acceleration, but still not get manhandled in the running game, and also provide the pass rush as well, the 4-man rush. You can't always drop spies and hooks and, you know, pull defensive linemen into zones because guys will run draws and all that good stuff on you and exploit that if you do it too much. But I like to mix that up in order to provide some more obstruction there in that hook zone area, and also spy mobile QBs without pulling guys out of coverage. And, you know, he's a decent tackler, good enough. Good pass rusher, 92, finesse move, and a good enough block shedder, so he won't really, you know, hurt me too much. I figure if guys like Hunt and Still and Pico are going to be, you know, close, you know, might as well have the guy who's more athletic. So that really maximizes my athleticism, block shedding, and pass rush on my defensive line. Vontaze Burfict, I put at the strong side backer. He's not as fast as I would like as a 4-wheel. You know, good, decent strength. Good awareness, you know, good enough. And he can really hit. 91 tackling, 95 hit power. 87 block shed. So he's really stout against the run. And he's got nice zone coverage at 75. You could even put him at the middle, but I decided to put him there because he's such a good anchor against the run. And he's not going to be out of position too often in his zone drops out of the 4-3 or in the nickel. And if a guy's in his area, he's going to wallop them. He's going to knock a lot of guys, heads off, knock the ball loose, force fumbles. I have Maluga backing him up. Now, you could play Ray Maluga at middle linebacker. I have Boley there. You could play Maluga and put Boley at weak side, but you must user him if you do that at all times because his coverage is just horrific. I mean, he can run 80 speed, 86 acceleration, he can shed blocks, he can tackle, he can really hit. Well, he doesn't really shed blocks very well, 74, but he cannot cover at all. So I put Boley there, and I user him because he's a little bit more rangy. I'll leave him alone if I'm in the nickel and, user my weaker zone coverage linebacker. And you'll be able to chase down the run just fine. You'll be in some problems when you are, engaged with a blocker because he just cannot get off blocks. But you have guys up front who can keep him clean for the most part. And he's got great player recognition and very good zone coverage for a linebacker. 74. You want 70 or above out of your linebackers. Out of your middle linebacker, you want as close to 75 or above as possible for this type of defense. And Sean Porter, I settled on for my weak side backer. I was tempted to put in Lamore. I actually tried Lamore out for a little bit, but I liked Porter better. Lamore's a little bit faster, but Porter has better acceleration, so it's a wash. And the reason why I kind of settled on him is because he's a slightly better tackler, even though Lamore has better hit power. And I just find that he performed better pursuit, better player recognition, and coverage is a wash. So if coverage is a wash, I'm going to go with the guy who can recognize plays better and accelerate. So you can go either or. You can have Lamore and Porter as his backup, but I kind of preferred him. He just tended to play better based on my, games. Don't really like the corners too much outside of Leon Hall. I mean, Terrence Newman is a finesse guy, good man cover guy. I would have loved to play Kirkpatrick, but that 77 man coverage is scary. He's got 88 press and 92 zone, which makes him useful in the slots. But, as one of your top two corners, a little bit shaky. You can even put Kirkpatrick at free safety if you wanted to, but I like him at the number 4 corner with Pac-Man at the 3rd. You can even flip-flop him. You can even play G, or Gee, whatever the hell you pronounce his name. There's 83 press if you want, but I kind of like Kirkpatrick there because of his 92 zone coverage and his press. But you can just as easily do this and be fine, or that and be fine, or that. I would start him, but that 40 awareness makes that a a no-go. It's a bit of a dope, so strictly a backup as far as he's concerned. So there we go. Safety Reggie Nelson can get it done. Aware. Good enough tackler, average. Not a heavy hitter, but he can cover very well. You can't ask for much more than that. George Ilaka, I just refuse to play Taylor Mays. I wish I could put Taylor Mays at linebacker. If I could put Taylor Mays at weak side backer, that'd be just perfect. That's really where he belongs. I mean, I can't stand Taylor Mays. He's an awful player. Awful. One of my least favorite players ever. But Ilaka can get it done. Good hit power, which makes up for his, bad tackling. And good enough zone coverage there. So that is the roster setup and the method to my madness. And next up will be an online ranked game. Alright, online game time. And I am up against the Dallas Cowboys. This is a good game to show because the Dallas Cowboys have a lot of weapons. And this is not really my sharpest performance. Here I am in 4-3, double OOB blitz. You see the adjustments I make to the off-man coverage to protect against the curl flat. Dunlap on the on your left-hand side, holding down the edge. There's the corner route being knocked around, and that's really what you need to do. You need to have guys with good hit power, good tackling in the Tampa 2 style scheme to knock those balls loose. And here I think Witten's going to go out for a pass, but he does not, so he catches me backside. I was caught kind of cheating there. And here I am. You see the range bull he has, how clean he was, not caught up. You can really scoot, and you can really do a good job of beating guys to the outside. Everyone wants to run off tackle and run counters. Bunch set, just 2-man under, and that's the tough formation to stop. Everyone online loves that formation. And there's Harrison. That's why we have him strong side, and the Cowboys line isn't the greatest. Now he's going no huddle. I'm in 4-6 speed here, so I got defensive backs where the outside linebackers should be. So I was very fortunate to have Harrison break that up, and there's Pack. So I'll give up yards, I'll bend, but when I get inside the red zone, I really like to, turn the vice grip tight. So I get a lead, and you see Romo escape Harrison, which kind of puts me in a no man's land. I was kind of anticipating Harrison getting the sack there. And that won't happen too often, but it allowed the halfback to get free. What the heck's going on here? Yeah, he's going to get in here. So, he gets on the board. Thanks in part to my error there with the leaving the halfback on. And here, the kick meter lags out on me. And I'm convinced there are guys who know how to get this on purpose because the game was running smooth as silk until then. And there was no more lag spikes after that, so I don't think it's coincidence. He likes to screen to Dez. I gotta find an answer to this. I think I got it here with cover 3 cloud. I throw a flat zone to the wide side just in case. And corner's a little bit outnumbered there, so I gotta find another answer. Perhaps flip the play when I anticipate that, or just read it better. Perfect. Again, gotta have guys who can lay the lumber. Good tackling, physical guys who can make people pay the price. And you gotta pick up what you want to give up underneath. You just don't want to make a mistake long. Make guys be patient, because guys online, they don't want to be patient. They want the big plays, so I figure the more plays I try to make them run, Dunlap, the higher chance that they're going to make a mistake eventually. You saw how I hooked the defensive tackle there. I'm going to do it again, this time out of man coverage. But it doesn't quite work out there as a guy gets free. It's a change-up you want to put in there every now and then to help obstruct the hook zone. And this is what happens when you don't use the MLB and you don't hot route him blue. He doesn't quite get back on the hook zone far enough. The Tampa 2, you want that deep blue run through, and that's how I didn't do it. I controlled the slot, but I failed to hook zone or deep blue zone the middle linebacker. Again, underneath, I don't really care about that. I want to make him go long field, and there, this time I read the screen and get over there to kind of give my guys time to recover. I had the same play called, the cover 3 cloud, but that time I had it flipped, and the purple goal zone guy was able to get over there, and I was able to read it better. And there, Pac-Man gets the pick on the 2-man. Just alternating, mixing up man and zone, showing 2 deep shell, except for when I'm in 4-6, or occasionally out of bunch sets when I'm in cover 3, I'll base align it. So now he's down 10, So I'm getting to that point where I feel like I have the game where I want it, multiple possession lead, and having him to have to force things. And these are really his best runs of the game. He really didn't have much success running at all. And now he's back into pass mode. I'm jumping on Witten there. Perfect. Run through, identify that seam. I did it right that time. And you see how the player rolls are taking into effect. Perfect on that strong side to crack down on anything and lay people out. No, that's not going to work for Mr. Romo. Now I'm in cover 4 here, just trying to lock down the middle. And here's what happens when there's too much time. One of the safeties, bites down on the square in, and he runs a post behind it, and that's a touchdown. So that'll happen if the rush doesn't get there, and there's too much time for the routes to develop downfield. So I got to dust that off. Glum with the cover 2 drop with the defensive tackle. And here comes Geno Atkins. You see how that defensive tackle drop, if you have an athletic guy there, either a defensive end who you sub in there or an athletic defensive tackle can obstruct that hook zone area a little bit more. Now cover 4. Hopefully we can get a little better rush. Coverage held up much better that time. Back in cover 2. And again, I'll give that up. Keep it all in front. So we've only really had one AI coverage bust in zone coverage. There's a big one, but we've overcome it. And you see what I'm doing offensively. On the scoreboard, I'm at a point where I'm just in total bend but don't break mode, and this is just stat padding for Dez. And here I audible to double buzz. This is basically an inverted cover 2. You see the hook zones by the safeties. I'm running deep, and the safeties will come down and knock those guys underneath. This is just empty yardage here. The game's well in hand. I have no fear of losing it. I just want to make him run a lot of plays to get what he wants, and I finally get the user pick with Boley. You see the range that he has because of his speed. That's what you need. And that will wrap it up. So that's some Tampa 2 gameplay online. Some good, a little bit of, miscues by me here and there. And one AI brain fart. But overall, you can get the whole together if you put the guys in the right spot and with good user coverage. Talk to you all later. Peace.